Okay. I wanted to take a little peek into the JAubrey video. It's really long, so I don't know how much of it we could even watch if we wanted to, but I wanted to just watch a little bit because there's a lot of content that I want to get to today.
Where to start with Elon?
It's just that it's on topic about Elon Musk. How to kill your reputation in 6 months. Elon Musk and the art of self-sabotage.
Musk, the awkward but brilliant visionary. Time magazine describes Musk as both clown and genius. The man who aspires to save our planet and get us a new one to inhabit. The richest man in the world, Musk has also courted controversy.
An experiment in both governance and billionaire power grabs is ending. And it's kind of different than what we might have thought when it began.
He was greatly disliked by the American public. He became political kryptonite.
I am not the evil, I just misunderstood.
Billions of dollars amassed by selling Teslas to promote European far-right parties.
I'm not just MAGA, I'm dog gothic MAGA.
Elon's cuts are officially killing people.
Straight up Sig Heil.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. I just want to be clear, I am not a Nazi.
I think we covered it.
But that's exactly what a Nazi would say. Damn it.
So the other day, YouTube recommended to me an ancient relic of the past that just about gave me whiplash. A 2019 episode of PewDiePie's meme review featuring none other than Justin Roiland and Elon Musk. Now, there's never really been a time in my life where I've watched a ton of PewDiePie content, but I do remember when this video came out just because it was such a huge deal for a YouTuber to be collabing with the creator of Rick and Morty and the CEO of Tesla at the same time. It was bizarre back then, and it's somehow even more bizarre now in retrospect, considering just how much both of these men have destroyed their own reputations beyond repair in just under half a decade. So, of course, I had to give it a watch.
I mean, there's some good memes here.
Is this the first one?
I believe so. He's earnestly presenting this in Congress.
And you can see how easy it would be to just replace that text and add anything you want there.
It's almost as though he wasn't saying that.
The first thing I noticed right off the bat is just how jarringly coherent Elon Musk sounded back then. I mean, maybe I'm looking into it too much, but the way he quietly and carefully articulates his words here is like a breath of fresh air compared to whatever this is.
I mean, we're trying to get good things done, but also, like, have a good time doing it. And
yeah, most people don't realize that the origin of the word meme is the, I believe, 1976 book by Richard Dawkins, The Selfish Gene.
I mean, the sort of the left wanted to make
before he started showing up to everything in a ketamine-fueled state.
Comedy illegal, Like, you can't make fun of anything. So then it's like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy. Yeah.
That idea is
legalize comedy. I fucking hate that clip so much.
Propagate like genes based on sort of like a survival of the fittest paradigm. Only the strongest memes survive.
Yeah, I'm assuming this was before the ketamine era.
Hey, he pre-watched my comment.
I'd expect the 6-year-old comments down below reflect a bygone era in which Elon Musk was once widely beloved by both sides of the political spectrum. It's crazy to think how not that long ago, American liberals were openly lauding Elon, not just for his seemingly eco-friendly companies and his commitment to putting humans on Mars by 2022, but for an unusually endearing demeanor for someone worth, at that point, a cool $100 billion. If nothing else, deciding to participate in a video like this suggests that even in 2019, Elon was hard at work trying to separate himself from the reputations of his fellow out-of-touch, villainous, bloodthirsty, in some cases, tech CEO contemporaries, making himself.
And yeah, legalize comedy until you make fun of me, then it has to be banned. I mean, Tim Walsh literally made a joke about how when he's having a bad day, he checks out the ticker for Tesla, and then he feels a little bit better. And he got on fucking the Fox or something. I think it was Fox, and he started crying. He's like, "It's really me. You think it's funny that my company is failing? I just don't understand why everyone is so mean to me." It's like, legalize comedy, what? Except for when we make fun of you, then it should be illegal. Legalize comedy.
Out to be a silly, relatable goofball by laughing at memes of a dead deer on PewDiePie's channel. Only recently has that mask begun to slip.
Fucking jump scared.
In 2025, Elon's favorability rating is plummeting harder than his car sales. Teslas have become canvases for graffiti, swastikas, and dog poop, as the first few months of the year saw hordes of Democrats and Republicans spilling into crowded town hall meetings just to protest a man they believed had shamelessly bought his way into the federal government.
I voted in favor of the continuing resolution, or CR. It keeps the lights on for President Trump and Doge to continue their work.
And honestly, it's not hard to see.
Dude, low-key, that was kind of giving... This was giving big Hunger Games.
And honestly, it's not hard to see where this animosity comes from. Elon Musk is the richest robber baron in the world, a South African-born Nepo baby who grew up in the shadow of apartheid and blood money allegedly procured by his incestuous father's stake in a Zambian emerald mine, which Elon himself stopped acknowledging once it became convenient. People are finally waking up to Mr. Musk being less of the groundbreaking inventor he wants us to think he is, and more of a lucky investor who spent the past couple decades of his life failing upwards. An immigrant from a world of unimaginable privilege who thinks he has the right to decide who does and doesn't deserve America's already withering social safety net. A man who endlessly insists he's done nothing wrong, while at the same time terminating thousands of jobs, slashing child cancer research, decimating critical aid to underprivileged communities, and has threatened to rip life-changing medical coverage away from Americans who have put their lives on the line for a country they love.
You're lying! I'm a veteran and you don't give a fuck about me! Hey, shut the fuck up! You don't get the fuck of union to us! You don't get to take away our rights! You don't get to take our health care! Get off of it! You don't get to do this to us!
I'm afraid. I will never not simp for the people that scream at their fucking congresspeople, their senators, their local politicians. I will always support these people.
After getting lucky in the dot-com boom of the late 90s and selling his first company Zip2 for millions of dollars, Elon went on to pour his first bit of cash into X. No, I'm not referring to Twitter or the sun he parades around like a Thanksgiving balloon. I'm talking about the original X.com, the company that would later merge with Confinity to become PayPal. Nowadays, Elon,
which he was kicked out of,
has virtually nothing to do with the modern iteration of the payment system we all know and love, because he was so notoriously difficult to work with that his fellow executives forced him out of the CEO role on his honeymoon in 2000. Still, he held onto his shares and made almost $200 million when PayPal was acquired by eBay in 2002, going on to become an angel investor in Tesla by 2004. This is where his net worth would skyrocket, but not until he backstabbed Tesla's original founders, got sued, and crowned himself as honorary founder of the company, despite not actually founding shit. From there, Elon would sign multiple contracts with the feds, snatching up tens of billions of dollars in the form of government subsidies to keep both his exploding car and rocket companies afloat, slowly but surely clawing his way up the ladder to become the wealthiest man in modern history, where he now rakes in $8 million of taxpayer money a day. Proving that meritocracy is as dead as ever, Elon Musk has remained on an endless crusade for status and the immense power that comes with it, all while furthering his own interests. It's no secret that Elon went out of his way to assemble a makeshift agency to slash and burn the regulatory and administrative state from within, and it's also no coincidence that he set his crosshairs on the very same government agencies that happen to be in the midst of investigating him and his businesses, all under the false pretense of efficiency, co-opting a decade-old meme for the sake of coming across as some wholesome chungus working for the good of the people. I think we can all agree that reducing government waste is a good idea on paper. I just don't think the majority of the country wants their grandparents going homeless.
Well, the problem is, if you're talking about removing hundreds of millions or billions of dollars of waste, and you're saying we're going to cut, we're going to find hundreds of millions of dollars of waste in Medicare. There's not enough waste. At some point, you're just cutting the programs. At some point, you're just not giving people what they paid for in their taxes.
like Elon has other intentions. We already know he's a serial liar. Look no further than his gaming record. Just because Elon has spent years of his life forging a fraudulent persona of some man of the people who strives to push humanity forward and have fun doing it does not make him any less of the soulless, profit-driven oligarch that he's always been.
His voice makes me feel like it's a game theory
harmless
video.
troll is entirely intentional, as he seeks to pull the wool over the eyes of a populace he regards as too passive and stupid to realize what's actually happening to them. But if the relentless backlash against his companies tells us anything, it's that he may have greatly underestimated the will of the very people he seeks to exploit.
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
We're now approaching summer 2025, and as it stands currently, Elon Musk seems to be fading further and further into the political backdrop, at least for right now, which of course is a major shift from, well, this. Yes! In contrast to his once domineering presence in cabinet meetings, Oval Office press briefings, and Air Force One joyrides, the president's chief financial benefactor has spent the past couple of weeks relatively and unusually quiet. Possibly for the first time in his life, Elon Musk appears to have finally learned how to shut his fat mouth, and so have the people around him. As Politico reported on May 19th, the president went from posting about Elon multiple times a day at the beginning of the year to not once mentioning him at all on Truth Social for more than a month. MAGA fundraising emails no longer name-check the billionaire, and even Republican members of Congress have developed a curious case of amnesia when it comes to Elon's purported influence within an administration he played a crucial role in installing. It doesn't mean his power is completely diminished, of course, as the projects he's helped scheme and execute over the past several months are sure to yield lasting consequences, but it does signal a clear push by one side of the aisle to now distance themselves from a man who at one point seemed to be ushering in a new era of American politics. But why? Well, hopefully this video can provide some answers. Today we'll be taking a closer look at the actions of—
Dude, what level of mental illness makes someone post like this? How mentally ill do you have to be to post like this? All of it? Yes. What's worse is you know that this is a 40-year-old man. I know. 2014 account, typing like this, guaranteed 30, 40-year-old man spending his Friday morning typing like this.
Doge under Elon and highlighting the reactions they've garnered. We'll be exposing the countless conflicts of interest that appear to have motivated him, and we'll be uncovering the broader moves he's made in an effort to reshape the entire Western world to fit his increasingly unhinged desires. It's time we go beyond what our leaders say and start to judge them by what they do. And by those standards, Elon Musk is a world away from the silly, jumping, meme-loving epic friendo he wants you to think he is. I didn't think fascism wouldn't come to America. I just didn't think it'd be this fucking cringe.
They paint us a picture of inside of the mind of a genius.
I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know?
Dude, Elon is so cringe. Hi, Raiders. Welcome, Majority Report Raiders. Hi. Welcome, everybody. We're watching this amazing JAubrey video on Elon Musk, how to kill your reputation in 6 months.
Future is gonna be amazing!
You know, none of these top when he did the jumping, the X jumping.
With everything going on today, I know it might be a little mind-bending seeing a post like this, but believe it or not, before taking on the mantle of the Dark Emperor's treacherous eunuch, Elon Musk was once very much at odds with the 47th president, as recent as 2022, shortly before Elon's genius $44 billion purchase of Twitter that's resulted in the single greatest overhaul of ad content I've ever seen. Elon insisted it was time for Trump to, quote, hang up his hat and sail into the sunset, which resulted in the WWE Hall of Famer blasting the CEO for his, quote, electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, and
I can never believe that this is real. This feels like one of those shit posts where you eventually look it up and you're like, oh man, it's fake. And it's real.
rocket ships to nowhere, correctly reminding him that he'd be worthless without government subsidies, and bragging that he once had Elon so wrapped around his finger that he could have said, quote, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. So, if you had slipped into a 2.5-year-long coma immediately after reading that, and woke up on February 19th, 2025, then this would be a pretty shocking sight.
He's become one of your, if you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
I don't care about that.
I know. I love the
you love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's, you know.
It's nice the way he said that. You know, there's something nice about it.
Really is. You know.
But such a swift 180 makes sense.
That quote Trump uses, has a beard and a cane, you're not wrong.
It's when you consider the textured political journey Elon Musk has had. As Trump kindly pointed out back there, the success of Elon's businesses have always been somewhat dependent on who sits in the Oval Office. In fact, there's a good chance Tesla wouldn't even exist today if it weren't for a $465 million federal loan from Barack Obama's Department of Energy, which narrowly prevented the company from being tossed into the dustbin of history all the way back in 2009. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, and with no sarcasm whatsoever when I say, thanks, Obama. Even in the 2000s, Elon could be found making donations to politicians from both sides, sinking thousands into the pockets of California Democrats and congressional Republicans alike. He invested in the campaigns of both Obama and Hillary Clinton in 2008, but refrained from donating to either party in 2016, instead declaring, quote, I don't really have strong feelings, except hopefully Trump doesn't get the nomination of the Republican Party, because I think that's, yeah, that wouldn't be good. Ever the eloquent speaker.
A year ago, you blogged that you didn't have very strong feelings about the election, but that you hoped Trump would not get the nomination. Do you essentially feel the same way about his victory to the White House?
Well, I feel a bit stronger that probably he's not the right guy. He just doesn't seem to have the sort of character that reflects well in the United States. It's just, I don't know, just no.
In 2017,
I just want to see something really quickly, because this came out 2 days ago. It's crazy that he posted this 2 days ago, right before the Elon Musk Trump fallout. Same with Taylor Lorenz, by the way. Yeah, Taylor Lorenz posted a video 2 days ago. Elon Musk thinks he's a god. Oh, dude. All right, I want to leave it there. We still have a lot of the video to get to, so I don't want to rush. I want to enjoy it. That is everything for today. Tomorrow, I want to consider maybe Slop Saturday, maybe. I don't know if I have it in me, but I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on watching the Mudahar Slop video. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll take a look. We'll decide. All right. And then a smidge, a splash of Shit Saturday. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. Also, I might be streaming on Tuesday as well. I might do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday stream this week because I might have to cancel Friday stream. Not 100% just yet, but we will see. But thank you, everybody, for... What's the difference between slop and shit? Great question. Great question. But anyways, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. I was kind of curious a little bit about this. If you guys are down to take a little sneak peek.
The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to determine...
Hank Green, talking about the Musk drama. The Musk-Trump drama isn't the story.
Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate. That forced everybody to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Look, I think that the thing about this that is the biggest deal is, of course, not the first thing that comes to mind. The first thing that comes to my mind is, oh, so Elon Musk knows that Donald Trump is a super bad guy and yet was like, everybody should vote for him. He's my friend. We should make an America together with us two at the helm. But also he's in the Epstein files, which I think we're implying beyond, hung out with Jeffrey Epstein sometimes and was mentioned in a file. Of course,
there's literally a fucking quote from Trump saying, yeah, Epstein, he likes young women just like I do.
that's usually what it means when someone's in the Epstein files, but the implication is that there's something more nefarious going on. In which case, I don't know, I might not have helped get him elected. The second thing that comes to mind is that it's just very clear that Donald Trump believes that his job as the president of the United States is to use our power, yours and mine, if you're an American, to do his bidding. And so if he wants something in the world, like for Elon Musk to have a bad day, he is going to use the power that we have granted him to unilaterally make Elon Musk have a bad day. Now, this might just be bloviating and talking, but I will ask you to remember that when Donald Trump got into power, the value of Tesla went up dramatically. And now that they're having a public spat, the value of Tesla has just today dropped dramatically. The people who spend a lot of time trying to figure out the value of companies, who ostensibly know roughly what they're doing.
Also, the other story nobody's talking about. Elon Musk has started following Asmongold. This is a couple days ago. Now, who will Asmongold pick? Trump or Elon Musk? This chatter. So this is from February. So your career is just talking about Asmong? It's sad. Bye. Why do so many people watch you?
Are definitely pricing in Donald Trump's opinions about people in stock prices. And that's not how it should work. That is an example of pretty clear-cut corruption. How Donald Trump feels about an individual person should not affect how our government spends its money.
Sorry. She's pretty, but her opinions are morally absurd. List me one morally absurd position. One that I actually said.
This is our money and is being used for the power of this guy. I was pretty hesitant to believe when I heard people who had lived in some countries that had experienced democratic backsliding. What I heard from those folks is, just look at the money. It's gonna feel really complicated and weird, and there's gonna be lots of complex, and there's gonna be court cases, and there's gonna be all this stuff. There's gonna be a lot of noise. But just look at the money. Just look at the opportunities for them to actually just enrich themselves with dollars. And this seems really wrong to me because, of course, Donald Trump doesn't need money. He's 78 years old. He's very rich already. But they seem to be right. They seem to be right that these people are in this game to not get themselves more powerful, which I think that's also part of it, but really in large part to make themselves more money, which is obviously not the thing to do. And the most frustrating thing is, and I don't know, I'm just a science guy, I don't know, but it seems like they are willing to destroy far more value than they end up capturing. The degradation to
it's not just the money that was being offered by Elon, although it was that as well. Especially for running a campaign, you want as much money as you can. What Trump wanted was the social media power. He wanted the power that came with let me start a little bit further back. Since the advent of the internet and since the proliferation of the internet, and for the last decade, I think people have been moving away from 2 decades, moving away from cable, moving away from traditional media outlets, moving away from traditional news because they feel you guys, this is just all fucking Sinclair media. You guys are all just pushing the same garbage at us. I want to go watch or read or get my political opinions from someone who maybe is an actual human being. Which is why people like Hassan, which is why people like Tim Pool, which is why people like Asmongold. People are just tired of getting their political opinions from some schmuck that's getting paid a bazillion dollars to be a news anchor for one more news organization. I think because so many people have turned to the internet for their news and have turned to alternative media for their news, it's put this sort of giant hole in marketing of candidates. And it's harder to win over those people if you don't have the social media avenues to win over those people, to win over voters, to win over election results, to win over just in general the propaganda and the love of the masses, right? Elon Musk offered that. Elon Musk said, yeah, I have a lot of money, which I can help you with, but also, more importantly, I have Twitter, the platform that so many fucking people use. And we can just shadow ban the people we don't like, and we can just elevate all the people that talk positively about you. It's the same reason that Bezos is cozying up to Trump, Zuckerberg cozying up to Trump, Zuckerberg making the platform more right-wing. Because it's, hey, I want the power to impact legislation, which clearly you can help me with, Donald Trump. And yeah, we'll make our platforms more beneficial for people like you.
The American project, by hurting our relationships with these other countries, these random and constantly fluctuating tariffs. I'm a business person. This makes it very hard for me to plan my business. I know lots of companies that are just not hiring right now because they don't know what's going to happen in 3 days. It's a bad environment to try and run a business. And I know that there is a school of thought here that is like, oh, Donald Trump is just doing these things because he's going to do something clever and then get the outcome that's good for America. But I'm like legitimately worried that every time they make an announcement about tariffs, that they're doing insider trading. Maybe I shouldn't feel this way, but like it looks like some people are trading right before the announcements happen. I don't know who those people are, but they seem to have insider information. I'm legitimately worried that Donald Trump has a cryptocurrency that you can purchase entirely anonymously, and when you do that, the value of Donald Trump's net worth increases substantially. And there's no way to know who is doing that. There's no way to know if it's somebody who a little bit later got pardoned. There's no way to know if it's a person who is a dictator of another country who wants a favor. And the fact that Donald Trump seems to be so completely open to the favor model and to the using of our power and our assets, like
this, bow to the king and kiss the ring. Yep.
Affect the outcome he wants, even if it is as petty as just like making some guy's day worse. This draws me out of the like reality TV moment of the high school drama of these two men bickering at each other, and back into like my deep worry about this country being led by the
Marbles are gone, people. GB Cats, what the fuck? Thank you for the 50 gift subs. Everybody say thank you if you got a gift sub, or I will be really sad. Have you said thank you even once, Mr. Jansky? Thank you so much, GB Cats. Thank you. It's really generous of you. Thank you. The marbles are gone, people.
These men. So even though I did immediately tweet something snarky that kind of diminished the situation, I do feel like this is not a situation that should be diminished, and I should probably delete my tweet. I am sick of it, but that doesn't mean that I get to stop living it. So one day at a time, we're doing this. We're trying to live in the world in a way that leaves it better than we found it, trying to solve more problems than we create. That's what we're up to. That's what we're doing. And now I'm going to play connections. Pipe, Eve, Summer, Apple. Well, we've got Apple and Eve. Snake, also an Adam and Eve.
Is he actually doing this? Is he going to segue this into something, or does he just start playing this? What the fuck did you just do with your thumb when you pointed at the camera? Oh, I'm like double jointed. He's done talking about now. He just plays that puzzle game for the rest of the video. That's amazing.
All right, we do have breaking news this morning. What is President Trump's latest thinking about his explosive feud with Elon Musk? Well, joining us now, someone who just got off the phone with the president. CNN chief political correspondent Dana Bash joins us now by phone. Dana, what did he tell you?
Good morning, John. Well, he said that he's, quote, well, here's exactly what he said, quote, "I'm not even thinking about Elon. He's got a problem. The poor guy's got a problem." He said he won't be speaking to him for a while, but he said he wishes Elon Musk well. It was a short conversation.
Dude, first Elon Musk gets called fat. Everyone knows he takes the fat shot and that it's not working. And it's not working. And now...
Didn't seem very exercised about it. And the interesting thing is, of course, the context of this is how many people who are in both men's orbits are trying to broker a peace deal, so to speak, and trying to get them to talk because of the concern about the fallout in so many directions. I mean, the blast radius from this fallout is really, really big and very wide. But right now he said he's not interested in that, and he's moving on. And in typical Donald Trump fashion, John, he, before I even asked the question, wanted to talk about what he wanted the storyline to be today, about the economy. He was talking about gas prices. He said he was waiting for the jobs numbers to come out, which I think is about 2 minutes from now. So as he has done his entire career, not just political, but since he was a businessman, trying to push out the narrative and push out the story that he thinks is the most advantageous for him. And he thinks that's the economy now. But of course, we did briefly talk about Elon Musk. And the headline is he says he has no plans to talk to him right now.
Yeah, just to reiterate, again, because the story overnight has been a whole slew of people working to tone things down and to de-escalate. And he's telling you, I don't want to talk to him right now. And then he also threw that elbow saying that, you know, the poor guy's got a problem. So, you know, if Elon Musk is waking up this morning, he might read that, I imagine, as a new insult.
He might. He also said, I won't be speaking to him for a while, I guess, but I wish him well. He wasn't exercised. He didn't sound angry. He sounded, I guess, more resigned to where their relationship is right now. But he obviously is very well aware of the impact that this is having. And that's why I found it interesting that even though he seemed to try to put a stop to any speculation or, as you were saying, the entreaties from so many people for the two of them to make up, he was still trying to kind of shape the narrative about what is coming out of the White House. It's not an easy thing to do right now because literally the entire world is focused on this remarkable feud between the president of the United States.
This is what I mean. Like, this is such a great opportunity to shit on both of these people, to like actually make a stand that people on the left can get behind, that Dems can get behind. And it's like, we're still doing civility politics. We're still like, this is such a crazy feud. Oh my God. And like, they don't seem to be talking. And this is really like, dude, go in. That's what your fucking audience wants. They want you to fucking go in.